Hello again, folks. How are you guys doing? I hope you're well. I hope you're doing excellente, as, many wise men have said throughout all of history. So today, I would like to talk about birth rates and why I could care less. I literally could care less. I don't know what this obsession is with the powers that be in the World Economic Forum types about the collapsing birth rates are going to cause us all sorts of horrid futures, man-made horrors beyond your comprehension. We won't have enough children to, mutilate and enough, recently decapitated foreskins to drink. What are we gonna do? Oh no, the horrors. I'm sorry, I could care less. Literally, the collapsing birth rate has zero impact on my life and has zero impact on my future, period. The only thing it might mean is, a little bit of a slower degrade in the culture, a little bit slower of a decline at the very worst. Collapsing birth rates are going to be bad for the people that are involved in the system, going to be bad for the average Joe, going to be bad for these multinational corporations, but I could give a s less about any of this. These people who lament this literally only care because there's not enough people for them to abuse. Who the heck in their right mind gives a crap about a collapsing birth rate? Let it collapse. Beautiful. Let it go down to zero. I want a birth rate of negative if I can. I want to start murdering freshly born kids if I could. If it was a possible world where, that would be my ideal birth rate. More oxygen for me, less for them. Beautiful. What in the world are we even talking about here? The collapsing birth rates are going to mean that economic decline is going to happen, and that means that the value of the dollar will grow up. Will grow up because there's going to be more dollars and then less people. No, we can't have the average person potentially catching up with the multi-billionaire. We have to constantly make new people to make our money supply more thin so we can rob people more blind. So there's a blind. Who cares? Who the heck cares? I don't care if these economic people lose another 5% of their GDP. I have mine, you get yours in whatever way you can think about it, and then F everything else. I'm not contributing to the birth rate. I'm, in fact, contributing to the birth rate decline issues. Beautiful, It's in my best interest for the birth rates to decline. It's in my best interest for the people that... Anything that makes the powers that be uncomfortable is in my best interest, period. And that's just how it is. Even if it might not be a universal good, it's still diametrically opposed to the things I hate, so that makes me at least neutral towards it, as far as I'm concerned. And this, I think, is a good thing, right? I think, and I'm not just talking about, the white birth rate or whatever people are citing. I'm talking about birth rates as a whole are collapsing. Sure, in, South Africa, it's still going up or whatever, and who cares about the third world? It's not going to impact anything in any developed nation. The reality is, regardless of race, birth rates are collapsing all around the developed world, and beautiful. Men and women are no longer going to get together. Beautiful. That means there's going to be a reordering of things. That means whatever new value system comes up, which is probably going to be closer to a matriarchy, closer to polygamous relationships, closer to pre-civilization, where we're re-entering these woke dark ages that we're spiraling down the drain towards. Beautiful. Let it all crash. I am surfing the Kali Yuga at this point. I could care less. Let it. Good. All of these people that whine about the birth rates, who are you advocating for? Charles Schwab might lament the decline of the birth rates. What do you care about it? It's going to have zero impact on you. If anything, it's going to be a net positive for your life, especially if you're a tradie. If there's a guy in my Discord who's a welder, man, that guy he's singing the turns of the decline birth rate. This man loves it. Why? It's going to, make his job all the more valuable. He is on cloud 9 because of the decline of the birth rates, It just blows my freaking mind. I don't know. I don't understand, all of these people who benefit from this are suddenly lamenting it. It's just, society and people are weird, man. It's no one really cares about their own best interest. They all have this, zeitgeist about this global society and the way that it, and how to traverse it and how it's spiraling in whichever way you want to debate it or, philosophize about it or how you want to go about interacting with it. If you take 10 steps back and just look at it as a whole, it just blows your freaking mind, the people that advocate for a lot of these things. No, I don't care about birth rates. I never will. If they're going up, whatever, I'm not happy about it. If they're going down, I'm winning there. And that's what winning looks like. A decline in the birth rates, a destruction of the, what remains of the nuclear family, what remains of Judeo-Christian values. That just means we're one step closer to a complete and total societal collapse. Bring it on. Yes, please, I'm begging you. Don't have kids. Like, obviously, if you want to have kids, there are safe methods to have kids. There's surrogacy, there's artificial wombs are on the horizon potentially in the future. There's all sorts of amazing ideas. We don't need to rush headlong towards potentially bad ideas like, getting involved in a nuclear family for a court system that hates you. You don't need to take these kind of huge risks going forward. Oh, but it's not manly if you don't take risks. I could care less what anyone says. The shaming doesn't work anymore. Act in your own best interest. Act in what's going to benefit you. If the decline in birth rates benefits you, which 99% of people it does, beautiful. I do not care about the decline in birth rates. Thank God for it. That's all I have to say.